Hey, it's Dorleen, and today I'm working on a cake topper for my granddaughter's Mickey and Friends birthday. The first thing I did is I went into Design Space and grabbed a circle image that I liked and also a banner image, which you'll see soon. If you look to the left, you can see all those Mickey characters. I was going to incorporate them, but then I didn't at the end, and you'll see. But what I first do is I'm playing with that banner, and that's a opened banner. So I need to create a solid piece. So I'm going to hit that contour button on the bottom right and zero out, I guess, those spaces that I want to be solid. Normally what I do is I hit the duplicate button first and then make that solid, which I kind of did this a little backwards. So now I'm removing those solid pieces so I get that empty space again. And then I'm changing the color because they are going to be two separate pieces. And then you'll see that I move some images around so that I can just grab those two and then group them. And the reason why you group is because if I have to make adjustments on size, they will always, the top and bottom layer of those will always stay the same. So I'm just kind of playing around with the placement, and you'll see me, like I said, just moving that thing around. And again, I started to play with those characters and realized it was just too much. Little Daisy has an open hand, so I thought, oh, that'd be cute to put balloons, and that's where I decided to grab the balloon bouquets. And then you'll notice once I start sizing it and I'm looking at it and I'm realizing, yeah, that is a lot for a small space. And you'll see me eventually move those characters out. I added Daisy to the banner, just using a basic font, and you can do that by hitting the text button and then typing in the name, and you can adjust your fonts then. So I'm moving the characters off, and that's kind of when I realized I was probably not going to use them. I had already a saved file with just those characters, and I knew that I was going to delete it, so I knew I needed to save this as another name. So I hit save as, and then I did another name for it so that when I deleted those characters, I would still have those on the original file, because I did work hard on creating those layered images. So you just saw me delete it. Now I'm looking for the Mickey head, because I decided to change those balloons into Mickey head balloons. I like the shape of those balloons. Originally, I was thinking I would just use the actual Mickey head for balloons, but then I realized they're not shaped as a balloon. I don't know if that makes sense. So I just took that top half and I'm resizing it so it fits the top of that balloon. And then I'm going to select both of those pieces, so the balloon and that Mickey head, or half head, I guess, and I'm going to weld it. So see how it becomes one shape now? And I did the same thing with this one, as I separated, or I ungrouped that Mickey image, and I should have duplicated the top half of that, which I do now, but I should have done that originally. But I do end up changing the color of this because it matched so much to the red. And I changed it only because I wanted to be able to see how well it fit on there. So not for really any other reason, because once you weld it, it all becomes one color and one image. So welding something makes it a little bit more permanent. If you attach something, it's actually like two pieces together. Or if you group them, you see that you're able to move things and adjust things as a group versus individual. So I'm just kind of messing around with the placement. It's not really important to change the front to back to front, but this is the best way to actually get a good visual of your project. And that's why people would change colors, and again, make any adjustments, because what looks like on the screen, you want it to look on your project. So you'll see me messing around with, again, the placement of things and maybe even the color of things. I knew that I wanted on the cake topper ring to have that solid image. So you saw me make a copy of that balloon bouquet with everything. I duplicated that and then I hit weld, so I got that solid piece. And I did the same thing with the banner, because I want this to be the base I realized I didn't, again, duplicate the circle. So you'll see me do that, and I move it over to the right a little bit because I am going to do 2 layers of that's just the circle. So with all those 3 pieces, I'm welding it again. So now I have my base. Everything kind of moves over. I'm changing colors. I'm changing arrangements just so I see what it looks like. And eventually I'm going to cut out each piece. This is a paper project, which I feel like I haven't really used my paper and my Cricut in a while, so that was kind of fun. I really like the way this turned out, and in a minute you get to see how it looks when I complete the cuts and when I put it all together. So again, I'm changing colors again just for visual, and you'll see me do the layers, changing the layers so I can see exactly what it looks like, making changes of the size that I want before I actually hit print. So I hope you like it so far. I know I go through really quick, but a lot of these buttons and a lot of these things are things that most people already know how to do. Pretty basic stuff in Design Space. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up. And also go to my blog, which is www.craftsinthecommandcenter.blogspot.com. It'll also be below, but I'll have more pictures and more information about the products and what I use for this and really the final project. So like I said, I cut all the pieces. And now I'm just doing a really quick show of how I'm layering everything and putting things together. So I start off doing the banner. I'm using my Nuvo glue because I really like this glue. It's great for paper because it doesn't warp as much, but and has a fine point. It's a really good glue, especially when you're layering so much with paper, because you don't want to use a stronger glue because it warps the paper and then that changes the whole design, right? So what I'm doing is it's funny how I bring my tweezers out because I think I end up using my fingers more than the tweezers, but that's just me. My fingers are always glued, inked, something, whatever it is I'm working on. That seems to be the best tool for me. But this is a really fun project. So you see that separate circle that I did cut out. I talked about that when I cut it. What I decide to do is put it on underneath the balloons. Oh, what I'm doing right now is I had cut that solid piece out in that light blue, and something about it just didn't look right to me. I ended up showing my daughter and said, "What do you think?" And between white, I did a white one and a blue one, and we both decided that we liked the white better. So instead of throwing out that blue piece, I just adhered the white piece on top of it, get a little bit more thickness to it. And I'm using a lot of dimensional tape or adhesive on this project because I want it to have a lot of layers. And I started to put that piece, every time I look at that, it looks like a squirrel or something. I started to put that piece on, and then I realized, no, wait, I wanted to put that circle on. And the cool thing about this, you'll see in a minute, I had this 3D, a three-dimensional, what are they, adhesive from Stamping Up, where they have it's black, and I haven't really been able to use it, but this was a perfect project. So not that anybody's really going to criticize if it's white or black, but it is a great alternative if you don't want people to look through between the layers and see white. So I'm just going through like I said, layering things. I'm adding the pieces. I again use the dimensional adhesive for the backs of the balloons, and on the pink one I use one layer, if I'm going to use that term, one layer of the dimensionals, and on the purple one or lavender one I end up doubling it so it's even higher. So now I've got 3 different levels. So the one level of the white balloon, and then another level on the pink, and then a third level for the purple. And then, believe it or not, when I put the banner finally on, I use another layer. So you can see the back of this. I'm really just using all those in between parts of those circles because that's just as good. And I didn't need to open up a new pack because I do have those circles adhesive I have more packs of that, but I didn't need it. And you'll notice there I showed you there's still a big gap, so that's why I added just with my hand another square or cut out piece of adhesive so it's a little bit more level. So I don't know if you can tell the levels of that. And now I'm just using some glitter marker to add sparkle to the shadow little on the white part of that balloon, also on the ribbon, and at where the knot would be on the balloons. But don't you love those balloons? I love how they turned out. And this is the final project. I decided to put Daisy on the outside bigger because I just like the way it looked. So even though you can still see the cutout Daisy, it still looks okay. But anyhow, I hope you enjoyed it. Give me a thumbs up. Subscribe if you're not already a subscriber. And check out my blog. See you next time. Bye. Thanks for watching.